here we go. Here is the ice cream cone bead I made in the demonstration at the monthly meeting for June. And there's a cherry on top. I made several of these. Here's one with frit on the top. I really like it. This one's a little bigger. So I made it into a fan pull, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You need to go to the hardware store. Lowe's and Home Depot does not carry this little piece, the attachment from the ball chain to the pendant part of the fan pull. So go to your local hardware store. Call them first and see if they have the attachment that hooks onto a ball chain that you can suspend something else from the bottom. Ask them first. So what you also need is realize that there are different size ball chains. See how small this one is? I haven't had any problem with this little attachment working with the small or the large, so don't worry about it. But you can always take it with you just to be on the safe side. And then you need this little connector that connects the existing ball chain to the ball chain that you're selling or that you're gifting with your glass bead. So these little nifty things have an opening at the top. Let's see if I can see it. Can you see there's a little hole in the top? And there's a little break in the metal right here. You just spread this apart just a tiny bit so that the ball chain will slide in there, just one little ball part, and if that were spread, that would fit right through. And then you end up with this contraption. I don't give a lot of chain. It can be adjusted by length. Either the existing chain, you can cut it off with scissors, not scissors, clippers. So the tools you'll need are flat pliers, round pliers. For this, I kind of like to use these larger round ones, and I'll show you why. And then cutters. You'll need, if you want to put a little embellishment on the bottom, that's what I've got. Crystal to go on the very top. A little piece of metal here, the heart. Pretty much that's it. Oh, and some little seed beads or a tiny little crystal. I'll show you what I do with them. So first I'm going to take the wire, put it about midway between these slightly larger round pliers. I'm going to take my finger and press the bottom length of the wire towards me. I'm going to take the top and wrap it around so that what you have is something that looks like this. And I want to put this curve on this side too. So I'm going to put it back in the pliers and turn this till this wire's touching the pliers, and then I will bend it away from me so that you end up with something like this. And that's going to let you slide on whatever you want to hang from the bottom. And you don't have to make a loop here. I don't, and have never had any problem with this. I just pinch it together, and this will stay in the bottom. It will not come through the bottom of your bead. You poke your wire in there, pinch the wire together, and pull it. And pull it, she says. There you go. And that's why I like to use these round pliers that are larger. They're the thicker, because the round part that you're making will be bigger than the hole. So it's not going to come through, even though people are just really yanking and yanking on it. I do ask people to hold the bead or reach up here. But anyway, we'll get to that. So the wire is little and the hole is larger, so I fill it. I do this with jewelry too, if it happens to be a larger hole bead. I put seed beads on it, sometimes depending upon the size of the hole. I've got these teeny tiny cheap crystals. I'll put them in there, and they seem to really fill the hole well. And that will keep this from wiggling back and forth, and it'll make it more secure. See how firm that is? Then I'll put this little metal piece on, and a crystal. I got two crystals. One's kind of the color of the cone, and the other one is sort of crystal, but it's a little smoky. It's maybe a little shinier. I'm gonna try this one first. That one looks pretty good, but I think I'm gonna like the other one better. Let's see what it looks like. It's a little smaller too. I like it better only because it's sparklier. A crystal one, a clear crystal might do better, but I'm gonna go with this one because it's what I have. Now I'm gonna get my round nose pliers and pinch it just a little bit away from the crystal. Just like before, I'm gonna take the bottom. The reason you leave that is you are gonna make like a hangman's noose and wrap it smoothly around the bottom, and you're giving it some place to go. That extra piece that you're wrapping around, you wanna have room for it. So I just, like before, I bend the bottom towards me. I bend the part that's sticking up straight all the way around till it looks like very similar to what we had before. But now I'm going to put this little groove on the other side too. So I'm going to put this back in and bend that wire back so it has the same groove. Then I'm going to take my pliers, my round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, I think they're called. I'm going to have the excess wire away from me, and I'm going to put in the pliers so it looks like this. And I'm going to take this piece and wrap it around like this. I'm holding firmly. That's the key word here. And I'm going to wrap it. It's going to make the letter P. And then I will take this piece and wrap it around, lining up each layer beside the previous layer. So it makes a nice, smooth joint. But guess what I forgot? I do this all the time. So I'm unwinding it now. Dun, dun, dun. I forgot to put this on. Oh, me. This is right before dinner. So I'm anticipating my husband coming in here shortly saying, "Where's dinner?" Okay, so now that's on. And when you're wrapping this, you have to make sure it stays in that loop. You can't make it fall or let it fall down here close to the crystal or whatever you have there. It won't work. So you've got to keep it up there. I'm going back and wrapping now, putting on the pliers, making sure that is in that little round part I made. And now I'm wrapping. Whoops, let's fold that back over. I'm wrapping this neatly so it's not laying on top of another piece of wire. The wraps around are not crisscrossing. They're laying parallel to each other. Then I'm going to cut the excess wire off. Always put my finger on the top so it doesn't come shooting at me. And that was not very tight. I can see the piece left over. So I'm going to cut it again. That's why you need really, excuse me, really good cutters. And then I'll take my flat, my chain nose. These are chain nose. And take that cut edge and make sure it lays down. And I'm just turning this so that every piece of that wire will be smooth and nobody's going to get cut. There's a little piece sticking out right there. Now my little loop is all misshapen, but we can fix that. Align it. Now I can get in here with these pliers and smooth down that one little piece of wire that's sticking out. And then nobody will get stuck. And that makes it nice and snug. Straighten this up one more time. There we go. And there is a chain pull of an ice cream cone with a cherry on the top. Super, that was quick. Let's see if it worked. Thanks everybody, bye.